I would like to thank students, senators, professors, friends, Reslife, Gail, Adam, welcome, and good evening. My name is Robert Sewell, and I'm a senator for Student Government Association. In addition to that, I am the Facebook social media coordinator, and I will be your MC for tonight. Before I start, I would like to give two recognitions. The first would be Chancellor Miller, who could not make it tonight. We wish him the best in his endeavors and that he continues to move UWGB forward. The second recognition I'd like to give is to the senators of student government. Senators, you are the embodiment of what makes student government great. You not only represent the student body with your votes, but also you guys put in the effort to reach out and have a one-on-one interactions with students. A leader is not born. That is just simply a myth. A true leader is one that learns from their experiences, their failures, and their accomplishments. Margaret Thatcher was once asked, "What is success?" She replied by saying, "I think it's a mixture of having flair for something that you're doing, knowing that it's not enough, that you have to have a good hard work and a certain sense of purpose." And I have to say, senators, you have success. And thank you. As you sit in your seat, you're probably wondering who the next speakers are going to be. The speakers were chosen based on committees who have had their 360 degrees of Student Government Month. Okay. Our first speaker is the president for Residence Hall and Apartments Association. The speaker is dedicated to representing the students living on campus, in addition to being the voice, whether on a program or making housing an environment where all students can feel that GB is their second home. Please welcome Megan Leonard.
Thank you. As Rob said, I am Megan Leonard, and I am the president of RHAA, Residence Hall and Apartment Association here on campus. And we kind of have three main initiatives that we do. The first is programming and community service. The second is like our state and regional involvement in conferences. And the third is some of the projects we've taken on this semester. So I'm going to talk about all three of those and then talk about our spring semester. So programming and community service, our first program right out of the bat was the 90s Dance at September. It was a very well-attended event, over 100 people, and it was really fun. We had a Super Nintendo. It was cool. And then we've continued with bingo nights once per month, trying to get some weekend programming in for residents, because as we all know, there's not a lot going on weekends, so that was fun. We partnered with NRHH, which is the National Residence Hall Honorary. They're our sister org, and we partnered with them to volunteer for the Color Run in October, and we had 14 volunteers, and we worked with parking. So that was really great. And then our programming committee chair has put on two programs, a Ghostly Gathering, which was sharing ghost stories near Halloween time, and the Native American Heritage Celebration, where she brought in a speaker from the Intertribal Student Council who talked about Native American stereotypes, and that was awesome. And then tomorrow she also has a program which is Back to Kindergarten, and it's from 6:30 to 8:30. You should all attend. There's gonna be coloring pages and Play-Doh and all sorts of fun kid stuff, so that should be a good time. And that's in Phoenix Room C. And then this upcoming Saturday we will be running or walking in the Jingle Bell Run on campus. So those are kind of our big involvements. We've also sponsored a couple programs. We worked with GTP to sponsor Jim Wand, the hypnotist, and we also sponsor one Cheap Seats movie every year. So those are our like big involvements on our campus. Next is our state and regional involvement. If you didn't already know, RHAA is affiliated with 3 different organizations. There's the Wisconsin United Residence Hall Association, which is our state organization. Regionally, we're affiliated with GLUCHR, which is the Great Lakes affiliate of college and university residence halls, and nationally with NUCHR, which is the National Association of College and University Residence Halls. So each of these organizations hosts various conferences and business meetings. At conferences, we tend to send like 10-ish people, and they learn like about all different leadership skills. They network a lot, and it's a lot of fun. So our NCC, our National Communications Coordinator, took 12 people to GLUCHR this last October, and that was at Indiana State University. And she represented us very well. And then she also went to a business meeting for WURA in October, which is just strict boardroom, strict business. And then NRHH, our sister org, also hosted the WIL conference. It's the Wisconsin Honorary of Involved Leaders. And RHAA, as well as the Office of Residence Life, sponsored that. So that was a really big deal for us. Additionally, we're currently hosting the GLUCHR Director, and the WURA Vice President, and so those are really, really big points for us. Like, it's really great for us to be involved on those levels, and we're very proud of that. The projects that we've taken on, each year we take on a few different projects to help improve residence life to be the best that it can be. And our biggest project this year is Quiet Hours, and actually this was brought up by the lovely Health and Safety Chair of Student Government, Trevor, and so we worked with him throughout the whole process, and we are anxiously awaiting the decision from Residence Life. And our next project was recording courtesy phones that are located on the outside of each building. We currently just voted to take care of those, take them away. Basically, they're phones that could call 911 and campus phones and hadn't been used in the last year. So in the interest of being fiscally responsible, we voted to take those away. And then one project we're currently working on is improving the way we match roommates. There's been a lot of roommate conflicts lately, and so we're trying to alleviate those as much as possible. And so that's something that's probably going to take a long time, and we're going to work into the spring with it, but we really want to help improve that. And then looking to spring, we have a lot we're going to be working on. Programming and community service. We're going to be continuing our monthly bingo nights. We haven't quite decided the dates yet, but you can look out for those in the coming weeks. Our committee chairs are also already busy planning lots of programs and community service opportunities for us. So if you want to get involved in any of that, let us know. And then each year we hold Res Life Days along with the Office of Residence Life. It's a whole week of a bunch of fun activities. So that'll be in May, the last week of classes. And then on state and regional involvement, we have basically a conference every month. January, there's a conference at St. Norbert's that we're having a group go to. In February, WURA has their annual conference, so we'll be sending 12 to 14 people to that. It's at UW-Platteville. And then in March, our National Communications Coordinator and an NRHH representative are going to be traveling to Illinois Wesleyan University for a GLUCHR No Frills business meeting. In April, the same two will be attending the WURA French Dip business meeting at UW-Stevens Point. And in May, we'll be sending 10 to 12 people to the NUCHR conference at North Dakota State University. So our whole spring is just full of conferences. And then our other projects that we plan on working on, we plan to continue our work on the roommate matching, like I said. And we also plan to take a look at the Residence Life guest policy to make sure that that is meeting our current needs. And additionally, we are looking at doors on the back of Thompson and Pamprin. Don't know how far that's going to go, but we will see. And then we already have some legislation in the works for next semester, so that's exciting. Overall, I think we've had a really productive and enjoyable semester, and so I look forward to a really great spring. And as always, we're looking to grow our membership, so if you're interested in representing your building or know anyone who is, let me know. And that's all I have, so thank you all so much.
Excuse me. I just want to give recognition to Flash TV for recording the State of the Campus Address. Thank you. Our next speaker is the chair of the Segregated University Fee Allocation Committee, SUFAC. Most of you may know this next speaker, depending on the outcome, whether you were either denied or approved. Please welcome Reed Heinskill.
Thank you, Robert. Robert, these are my chemistry notes. Well, thanks, everybody. I appreciate you coming to support the Student Government Association. I've been asked to say a few words about the budget, about the segregated fees, and about what we're doing in SUFAC. And just to give everybody a little bit of a background, what the segregated fee is, it's that portion on your tuition bill that's separate from tuition itself, and it's segregated from academic activities. And it's something of a tax that the students all pay into, and we use it to pay for public goods like this building that we're in right now, pays for good times programming, healthcare services for students, and even part of the athletics budget, as you all know. So SUFAC itself is it's in charge of taking the segregated fees, and since it's collected from students, we then are also responsible for distributing those fees. And part of our job is to examine all the fees that are collected, compare it to what was expected, and look at projections as to what should be spent in the future, different budgets that are required for different portions of the organization. We compare those, we see how much we're expecting to bring in, how much we're expecting to expend, and then we set the fee for next year based on those projections. So one of our big responsibilities is to determine the rate for the following year. And as some of you may know, over the last several years, the last 2 years in particular, we've had a bit of a cash flow problem. And essentially what it came down to is that the amounts that we had assigned for all the different areas of the campus that require funding, that total did not equal to the amount that was collected. Largely that was due to the fact that the enrollment figures that we had expected didn't become so. So as a result, we were in a bit of a pickle, and we didn't have the cash to get through that year. And fortunately, we know some very talented fellows up on the 8th floor who were able to work things out and get the cash flow situation addressed so that we were able to at least get through the year. But then we were really faced with a dilemma this past year, which is we had what's called a structural deficit. We had no way to pay for the future needs without significantly increasing the segregated fee. And so what we worked out, we worked with the administration, we came to a solution, and that was to set up a 2-year increase of about 6.5% each year on the fees. And of course, this is not a popular proposition. It's not something anybody wants to do, but it really came down to this is something that has to happen in order to remain solvent and to have money in the bank, to pay for all these lovely things that we like having at our university. So one of the other big factors that we took into consideration last year was to re-examine the figure that we used to calculate the fee, which is the number of full-time enrollment. It's not an exact number based on full-time enrollment, it's a formula, but we took a look at it and we decided that it had been overly optimistic in the past and that it was really our responsibility to set more of a realistic number, not something that's optimistic. So we did use a realistic number in the past, and I'm very happy to say that the numbers that we came up with were correct, and we hit that number pretty close to on the dot this year. So we don't have a deficit problem. We're actually in pretty good shape given the increase that we had proposed. So this year, I just wanted to express how impressed I've been with the student body and how active this group has been this year. In years past, I think there were 4 voting members on SUFAC, and now I've got a full panel of senators and almost all my at-large members. And so I really want to applaud the student body and especially the younger class persons who have become involved. I'm very proud to have freshmen and sophomore members. And I just want you to know that we do still have difficult choices to make. We're not completely out of this situation that we're in, but I've been able to meet with some of the 8th floor people who are in charge. Kelly Franz is here joining us. He's masterful at what he does, and he was able to get us on track. So I'm happy to announce that we're quite optimistic about this year's budget, and we may not actually have to increase the fees as much as we had expected to last year. With that said, I also wanted to mention that I was having a conversation with Dean Madison the other day, and she urged me to let the student body know that their participation really matters. And you know, as I said, the amount that people have been participating on my committee, on other committees in student government, in Senate, getting involved, it's really, really refreshing to see. It was one of the biggest things I noticed when I first came to school here, is that there was little participation. Just the upswelling of participation that I've seen this year has been so impressive. So I really do applaud all of you for being here and for getting involved. You know, and shared governance is maybe a subject you've heard of, it may not be, but it's the idea that the students are an active part of the community here at the campus. Faculty and staff and students all have an active role to play in how the university is administered. And it falls on us to step up to the plate and to participate. So well done. And on that note, you know, it's your duty as student senators and representatives and so forth to really get involved, because we do have tough decisions to make. And I'm sorry, what I meant to say is that it's your job to get informed. There's a lot of hard choices that need to be made, and I urge you to find out what's actually going on. Don't fall victim to the gossip and the rumors that you may hear, but you know, find out the real deal. Come see me in my office, and we'll talk about some of the things we have to address for this coming year. So with that, I'd just like to thank everybody for coming. I really want to express my gratitude to this school. This institution has been so wonderful for me. I have 1 year left, and I'm eagerly anticipating it. And I want to thank all the student body, everybody who's come here. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker is dedicated to the students of UW Green Bay. He is the chair of the Student Resource Committee. His dedication goes beyond just talking with students, but increasing students' spirit. Please welcome Jacob Immel.
Gonna work up a sweat here. So when Vanya first approached me about giving a speech, I asked him what it all entailed, and he told me that I would need to talk about my accomplishments. And if any of you know me, you know how humble I am. So that was extremely. This is gonna be really tough for me. So bear with me on this one. First of all, it's an honor to be speaking in front of all of you. It's great to be surrounded by such dedicated student body and student leaders. I'm going to start off by a quote, and if you ever got an email from me, chances are you know what this quote is going to be. The famous pastor and motivational speaker John C. Maxwell once said, "A leader is one who knows the way, shows the way, and goes the way." This quote reminds me every day to be the most effective leader I can be and to try to stay humble. So. As the chair of the Student Resources Committee, I'm constantly working on various projects that help make this campus community even better and even more involved place to live. One of the things that I recently did was I advocated to have a link added to the current students page to add pass points and dining points to make things more unified and transparent. So that was met with, it was well received. Trevor, I know you're smirking there. You appreciate that, right? Okay. If only we had more money to add to these dining points, right? College student, I know ya. I also organized a few activities this past month as a part of 360 Degrees Month. So we had Campus Life. So some of the things that we did, we had a powder puff and buff ball tournament. We organized a pep rally. And then one of the, in my opinion, and from what I heard, the most well received was what we did, a Pie Your Professor event. We have two of the professors that I didn't even recognize them without pie on their face. So they were great sports about it, and we raised some good money. And the money that we all raised went to a charity called Passing on Hope. So it's a local Wisconsin charity. that has sports camps in developing countries. So that was really great to partner with them. One of the projects that I'm most proud of is something you may have heard of that we started this year. It's called Phoenix of the Week. And what that is, as faculty members nominate outstanding students, and it comes to my committee, and then my committee has the tough choice of narrowing down those great students that go above and beyond every day. And we pick them, and they receive, they get to park in these visitor parking lot for 2 weeks, and they get a excuse me, additional prize from SGA. And that actually stems from when I was president of our student government in high school. We were the Mighty Falcons, Sheboygan Falls Falcons, and we did Falcon of the Week. So I kind of borrowed from that. So when I came to college, that's something that I wanted to do, so Phoenix of the Week. Recently, the program has gained some notoriety across campus, is in the process of expanding. Recently, I was approached by the adult learning and online degree programs, and we're going to be branching off to do Phoenix of the Week for them. So every 2 weeks, we're going to do the regular Phoenix of the Week, and then we're going to do one with them. So I'm really excited, good things in the future for that. In my opinion, we need to do whatever we can to recognize those students that go above and beyond, and that's what this program does. Another ongoing project of mine involves school spirit and campus pride across our community, and not only how we can anticipate what we already have, but how we can bolster that and how we can boost school spirit. That's a concept that my committee and I have been looking at for the last month or so, so that's why we've been doing the Pioneer Professor. So we've been brainstorming ways to increase our campus pride, and keep in mind, this isn't something that's going to change overnight because it's kind of changing a culture, but little by little, Rome wasn't built in a day. We've been making strides this semester, but there's still a long ways to go. One of the ways that we want to counter this is by increasing our selection of activities on campus, especially on the weekends. So one of the things my committee is looking at is branching off, kind of modeling after Applebee's. They do half-off apps promotion. We want to do that in the Phoenix Club starting next semester to try to retain the students and give them something to do on the weekends, and to try to get rid of that stigma that we are a backpack campus. Of course, none of these programs would be successful with help of the senators that serve on my committee. Each and every one of them deserve a round of applause. A few of them are here tonight. Nate, Jessica, Allison, anyone else? Oh, Sammy, Brandy, okay. Thank you for all you do, and even if you're not on my committee, I still like you too, even though there's still room. No, I'm just kidding. Truly, I would be nothing without them, and these initiatives would be nothing without them because I'm only one person, and I don't sleep much as it is, so they hold me accountable and bring me back to reality when I need it the most, so for that, I'm grateful. And at the end of the day, I'm extremely proud to be a part of our student government. We've accomplished so much, and this next semester we'll accomplish even more. We're truly at a pivotal part in history of this university, and I look forward to the future and look forward to representing the best interests of you, the student body. I'd like to leave you with a quote this evening by Henry Ford. He said, "Don't find fault, find a remedy." In this day and age that we live in, we tend to point fingers when something goes wrong. Even I admit that I do this every once in a while. I feel that this quote shines through today more than ever. If something goes wrong, we shouldn't blame someone. We should not dwell on what went wrong. Instead, let's focus on what went right. We should apply that principle to our everyday lives. Just because something goes wrong, we shouldn't get hung up on that fact. Let us not focus on the problem, but rather the solution. Change doesn't happen overnight. Oftentimes, it's a slow, matriculating process that happens over time. Change isn't something to be feared. It's something to embrace. Change is coming, of that I'm sure. Let's welcome it like we should, with open arms. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacob. Our next speaker is the chair of the University Governance Committee. And I have to say, I have had the pleasure of working with this next speaker. This speaker is dedicated to keeping the UW Green Bay student body informed on the issues that are affecting them the most. And she has a lot of plans for next year, next semester. Please welcome Hannah Stepp.
Hello. Can you guys all hear me back there? I've got my boyfriend recording this for my mother, so this is serious business, so we got to make sure that I'm well heard. Again, so I'm Hannah Stepp, and as many of you may already know, I'm actually fairly new to the Student Government Association family, and just being a part of this for this short amount of time, I have been incredibly fortunate to work with such change-oriented and ambitious minds. And I mean, just from the short amount that I've been here, I have had the opportunity to really notice something pretty significant about our generation, and it's that we have an incredibly bold and loud vision for what we want to see on our campus and in our state even. So our committee has been working incessantly to ensure that the visions and the voices of all the students here and faculty as well are being heard by those making executive decisions on campus and even legislatively speaking as well in Madison. So with the help of Nate Feeney, who I'm sure many of you know, we've brought gubernatorial candidates to campus to discuss if they're elected, what their policies would be and how they would affect us as students and faculty, of course, as well. Excuse me, I'm congested. I've got this cold I'm dealing with. We've held political forums here on campus as well, one of which included Senator-elect John Mako and Dan Robinson. We invited them to educate students on how their policies, if they were to be elected, would be affecting higher education, which I know obviously affects everybody in this room. So it was really interesting bringing them here rather than us going to them. Our committee also played a part with the help of the College Democrats in leading Miss Mary Burke around campus in a college tour. We got lots of stares. I felt pretty famous, like for a day. It was nice. So it was really fun, actually. But by bringing politicians here to campus to hear our concerns, our committee has been, as I like to say, I sound a bit probably like a broken record, bridging the gap between legislators and our students here on campus. Another large part of the University Governance Committee's mission is the part of getting students out to vote. I mean, obviously, there's no better way than that, than to get our voices heard. So this past semester, I've got Rob, the MC of the night, Brandon, who I don't know if he made it tonight, but and myself as well. We were heading out to classrooms and seminars just to kind of discuss what students need to be bringing to vote with the new voter ID law. And helping people really adjust to that to avoid any confusion. So, and of course, I have to also thank Nick Toyne, who is incredibly well educated and smart about registering students to vote on campus. I could not have done this without his help as well. So big shout out, thank you to Nick. Not sure if he's here. Pass it along for me if you guys all would. With all the progress that our committee has already seen, we're still at work. We've still got a lot to do, and that's probably, for me at least, the most exciting part that's still coming up. I've got Nick Austin, who is researching how we can better our student body laws and make them more inclusive and more allowing for free speech, which, of course, super, super important. So that's really exciting. And if any of you guys are interested in learning more about that, I totally encourage you to get in contact directly with him because it's an exciting project that we're working on. In addition to that, we are working on adding a political column to our on-campus newspaper, the Fourth Estate, and then also creating an app for political updates, whether it be on campus or at a state level, so that literally in the palm of our hand, I'm sure everybody here knows how important the phone is, we can have it all right there. So I think that would be a great addition as well. Excuse me. I originally joined Student Government Association to make changes for the better to our already incredible campus. I mean, look at this place. It is incredible to be a part of this. But I shortly realized after joining that SGA and, you know, for me, our University Governance Committee, it's really a lot bigger than that. It's a group that comes from all different backgrounds and beliefs and political affiliations. Trust me, we're all across the board, and we can all come together and truly put together ours and most importantly the students' needs and wants and voices, and that is really something. I have to say that has been an exceptional experience for me, and it's very, very cool. But I mean, we're going to continue to put the students' needs first and to ignite change throughout our campus, as well as the University Governance Committee and SGA as a whole. And that's all I got.
Thank you, Hannah. Our next and final speaker is the President for Student Government Association. He is dedicated to UW Green Bay student body beyond what is asked of him. He is a leader in his own right. please welcome the President of Student Government Association, Vanya Kipsky.
Hello, everyone. Before we get going, I'd like to introduce someone that you may already know, but who is also the Senator of the Month for Student Government. Her name is Jessica Murphy. So Jessica, if you can have a round of applause for her, come on up. This is an award that we recently implemented 2 months ago, and it is in recognition of outstanding representation and extraordinary performance of duties as a member of UW-Green Bay Student Government. So Jessica, congratulations to you. Speaker Broughton, Vice President Sturr, distinguished campus leaders, and honorable guests. In particular, Brenda Emerson-Hill, who is the Student Government Advisor. Thank you for joining us tonight. A constitutional duty rests with me to address the students on the state of our campus. Tonight, however, as you have already seen, leadership is not a solo endeavor. In fact, leadership is a collaborative effort that is meant to bring a group of people together and measure their success not by the number of plaques on the wall, but rather by the number of inspired hearts that we have a chance to inspire as campus leaders. Tonight, I would like to talk to you about how student government, with every branch and every leader, can build a campus of belonging and pride through the spirit of collaboration. You know, it's all too tempting to sugarcoat challenges. Challenges such as social media and anonymous naysayers, financial cuts to the UW system, facilities in need of improvements, complaints about the dining service, and a lack of campus pride and spirit. However, UW Green Bay Student Government does not ask for smaller burdens because we have broader shoulders with every single leader in this room to meet those challenges. The SGA Union and Dining Committee continues to explore ways to improve our dining service. Specifically, the committee headed by Andrew Pfaff is following up on last spring's resolution to pursue a self-op dining system. In addition, something that's been brought up to student government is the issue of students not having enough dining points or pass points once we get closer to finals week. That's a problem. We are going to work closely with the Union and Dining Committee to make sure we have a pantry or some way where students don't have that problem, because that's when their study habits are impacted, their rest is impacted, and that should be the least of their worries. On a different note, we are reaching out to the governor in partnership with the other UW system, 25 campuses, to support President Cross's $95 million budget proposal for the upcoming biennium. These are concrete actions in addition to the ones that you've heard tonight that we are taking to further UW Green Bay. We must also remember the accomplishments that we have had over the last semester. The volleyball courts in the Phoenix Park are complete. Our updated SGA website offers more transparency and accountability for all students. Our membership has nearly tripled from that of this time last year. Also, our budget for the 2015 and 2016 year is nearly $1,400 lower than that of this year. As a student government, we are taking the right steps. I will now like to speak more specifically on ways that we can collaborate to make additional tangible progress. First, look around you. We are sitting in this room united. There are no sides. We are of various ethnicities, religions, and political beliefs. This unity is simply beautiful and makes UW Green Bay a unique place. Hence, we must harness our diverse backgrounds and our varied opinions to face-to-face conversations as to how we can further our great university. Rumors, outside naysayers, and harmful closed-door meetings are not the way of our student government, and I am confident that this will remain the case for the upcoming semester. With this desire to harness our differences in mind, the second way in which we must collaborate and put students first is through creativity. Whether you're a freshman senator or an experienced SGA leader, titles, office locations, and experience must not be a stumbling block towards creativity. We are in this together, so do not be fazed by the location of the office, but simply go to that office, talk to that campus leader, or approach the individual with that title. From the freshman to the chancellor, express your ideas you've been holding back through resolutions and presentations. Never let time or failure discourage you from bringing the students' concerns to creative solutions. Never let uncertainty, your major, or past unsuccessful projects hold you back from who you are as a leader. I ask for your creative ideas that will help us build a spirited campus over the next semester where students would feel belonging to and are prideful to attend. Lastly, as we move forward, I would like to say that we will begin next semester with a brainstorm summit where all of you as campus leaders will be invited to, taking those creative ideas and setting them to specific goals. As for the ongoing items on this list, there are 3 in particular: the construction of the new sports complex, the child care facility initiative, and our Restoring EcoU project are a must. I have committed $250 of my honorarium to the sports complex and the first donation to the child care facility of $250. I urge the voting members of SUFAC to vote in favor of this partnership between the community, the administration, and the students of UW Green Bay when considering the sports complex on decision day. This project goes beyond athletics or intramurals, as it will be an important hub for all student life. If we partner with the community on this project, it will only benefit our potential donors and individuals who will want to consider donating to the child care facility. If we partner with the community now, we'll have more opportunities later on. Don't let that opportunity pass by now. As for the child care facility, we as campus leaders must continue to reach out to the administration and the community for their support. Once the business plan is complete, we will explore potential donors for this project. I want to let you all know that this project will be a central point of my discussion with Mayor Schmidt on December 9th, with various SGA representatives who will come along to that discussion. This conversation will build on the various discussions I have had with Chancellor Miller, Kelly Franz, and various campus administrators. We certainly have big challenges ahead of us. Yet the state of our campus is that of resolve. And because of this, the challenges pale in comparison to your leadership and your creative solutions. Let us collaborate together and measure our success by the number of hearts who are proud to be a Phoenix and know that they belong here at UW Green Bay. Thank you.
I wish I had something funny to say, but my mom always said I wasn't born with a funny bone. I just wanted to thank all the speakers for speaking here tonight. Green Bay, thank you. SGA, thank you all. And that will conclude. Thank you.